The internet's response when Keke Palmer was mom-shamed was consoling. A surefire way to get dragged is to air out erroneous notions about what it means to be a black mother. Although we can't always rely on social media to react to celebrity events, this time it was the chef's kiss. Following a magnificent gown Keke Palmer wore to a recent concert where Usher serenaded her throughout his performance, Keke Palmer's boyfriend Darius Jackson made a sexist comment about it last week. We don't need to go into the original tweet's substance again or the dumb double down, but if you're interested, it's all available here. Jackson might have just kept his composure during what seemed to be a fun exchange between two legends and then later communicated his displeasure with it. Instead, he discovered that expressing what turned out to be some mom-shaming sentiments online is a terrific way to get spread throughout numerous social media sites. Palmer's supporters made it clearly apparent that this type of behavior is not acceptable in 2023, especially from a loving partner. Anyone might have deactivated their account after the outcry, as Jackson reportedly did. You won't come after anyone in the sisterhood in public, much less the self-made actress, singer, TV personality, and mother Keke Palmer, without telling us how you screwed us up, believe me. Jackson's comments have angered us, but their relationship is their own to handle any way they choose. However, his remarks highlight two pervasive injustices that need to be corrected: mom-shaming and the policing of black women's bodies. His remark that you are a mother is based on outmoded gender stereotypes that dictate how we view black women and our bodies. If we are not expected to live up to an impossible standard of respectability, we are branded as unwanted mammas and confined to having children and nurturing them as our only identity. These justifications should be completely rejected since they have no place in contemporary relationships. It's time for society to grasp that it is impossible and unjust to police our bodies and identities. And the idea that after you give birth to a child, you have to cover your entire body and behave like a chaste zombie in public is reflected in the mom-shaming here. I've made the conscious decision to stay the person I've always been and lean into the person I'm becoming since becoming a mother. But keeping your sense of self is difficult. I occasionally waver between fearing that I am being either too matronly or too provocative. But I've come to see that these concerns stem from patriarchal forces from without that might otherwise lead me to compromise my own self. I've come to realize that I have the right to reject these demands and accept myself as I am. I also have the freedom to decide how I want to experience, present, and use my body. One way I indulge in pleasure is by dressing in what others could consider immodest ways. Being a mother does not make that right obsolete. Some people could be offended by this, but Palmer and I have no control over it. She earned every bit of happiness that resulted from that moment because she was a hard-working woman. As a reporter Ernest Owens wisely tweeted, "Men never have their fatherhood weaponized when having fun compared to mothers." I advise that men start tweeting about the black maternal death rates because it is something that is genuinely worth getting furious over, as Palmer wisely noted in an unrelated conversation with Vice President Kamala Harris.